Hey, it's Key Creative Studio, Mr. Drawing Japan. Let's make a point to draw every day. Hisashiburi, it's been a while. I've not done a video for a little while, so I've been a little busy. But I'm gonna do some catch up, and I think I'm gonna start off by doing some drawings that are kind of in my. I'm just gonna do some warm up drawings. It's just maybe some kind of typical figure drawings I like to do because I was thinking about, like, sometimes it's not a bad idea um, to warm up doing things that are like kind of like in your comfort zone. I know that people, and I say this myself actually, you really should make a point to get out of your comfort zone and like to draw things that you're not particularly like all that good at. The reason being is that we all want to grow and improve, right? So there's no other way really to do that other than to again, like, to get out, to get out your comfort zone in those cases. That being said, sometimes we do need a bit of a confidence boost for ourselves, and kind of like to like remind ourselves that that we do have the ability to draw. So it's not a bad idea maybe like to warm up with some things that that are kind of familiar to you. So that way, you can have your confidence when you're drawing. And then when you want to tackle something a little bit more difficult, which you should do. You'll be a little bit more prepared for it. So on one end, it's, yeah, it's better to challenge yourself, so that way you can grow and improve your skill set and all that kind of stuff. But I think every now and then, people do need a bit of a confidence boost for themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. So because where would any of us be, if we didn't have you know someone a little bit like reassure us, that we're able to do things, right? So it's, and some of us are lucky, to have like people around us, a mentor, you know, family member or something like that, you know, gotta be there to, um, you know, give us a bit of encouragement. Um, makes me think, I'm sure like there was a time, maybe even Michelangelo, um, need a little bit of a confidence boost from someone. You know, I'm sure at some point, maybe one of his parents, one of his parents probably saw one of his early works and say, "Oh, that's a good. You should keep that up." you know. Okay, I'm being silly here, but seriously, I mean, we all need it, because that little bit of encouragement might be the one of the many things that helps like propel this person into doing even greater things. You know? So there's nothing wrong with So I mean, and if you're in a position like to encourage somebody, um, I think it's a nice idea to do that. Um, you know, I don't say don't lie to people. Don't do that. That's that's that doesn't do them any good. But if you see someone doing something right, doing something good, um, it's it might be really nice to tell them that they're doing a good job. You know? So I'm drawing one of the many um, pinup style kind of women I like to draw, because this is something that's a little bit in my comfort zone. So and um, they're fun to draw. So, like I said, I just woke up not too long ago. So the brain is still basically um, rebooting at this point. So give me a second. So I'm like drawing some hands first thing in the morning as you wake up. So on social media, that great reliable source of information from mankind, I saw a post from an artist that I admire by the name of Joe Jusko is his name. And Joe was, he's one of these old timers from Marvel. Or I should say it's the comic books industry. He was like one of, well, now he's an old timer, but you know, in the old days, you know, he was, I guess you could say, like one of the new guys. You know, he was kind of young. I think he was probably in his early 20s. You know, when he started. So anyway, I saw him make some. So I put a post on my social media saying he was talking about Neil Adams, the great Neil Adams, who I did have. I mean, I never spoke with the guy. I mean, maybe you know, maybe nothing beyond you know, how do you do? One of my friends. Guy Dorian introduced me to him at a convention way back. But anyway, yeah. He said Neil was tearing this guy apart, you know, because the hands he was drawing were was substandard, shall we say, and he said, like, you know, Neil felt like, you know, there should be like no excuse because yeah, we and in a way, you know, we kind of don't have an excuse because, you know, we have two hands, you know, right in front of us at all times, right? So I could see that. And I can also I concede, you know, that Neil Adams actually he did draw pretty good hands, actually. The problem so much is it's not like the drawing of hands. You know, I think one of the problems is like this drawing of hands, you know, that are drawing hands, you know, that are appealing, you know. You know, particularly, you know, if you're gonna be like, if you're drawing like female hands, you know, like I'm doing here, you know, because you know, you don't want the hands like to get too mannish and things like that. You want them to, you know, to look and feel feminine, you know. Anyway, I spent way too much time on those hands just now. You know? And a bit of advice, you know, for you guys. And so I'm saying this in a slight contrast to, I guess, what Joe was implying about the drawing of hands, which is, I don't think, you know, you should spend too much time on drawing hands. It's what I'm getting at is that if you draw hands, you really should really focus on the gesture of the hand, because I think that's what people are going to that's what they're going to read, you know, and that's what they're going to connect with. In your drawing, you know, Um, frankly, your audience should be focusing on, where you want them to look, right? And in this case, I want people to look at the overall figure for this pinup, whatever. So like, here's a bit of advice, like whenever you start like spending too much time on one area, you're kind of like you're drawing attention, to it. So any kind of area, that if you overwork it too much, you might be creating like unwanted attention. Or drawing people's eyes to areas, that you don't want them to focus on so much, Put this one a little bit in shadow. Have a little contrast. Okay. I'm not gonna spend too much time on the light values for this one, because I just wanted to warm up. Taper in her hips a little bit. Okay. And make sure that areas that I want to overlap are going to overlap. Areas like here, areas like here. Okay. All right, I think that's got the general idea here. Again, I'm just doing this just to wake up and get my brain working. All right, I think I will. Oops, let me just do one small change here. The arm is a little bit too. A little bit too thick, actually. Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop here, and I'll probably do one or two more of these for myself. before I completely sit down and actually do some real, quote unquote, real drawing. Okay. All right. I hope you guys didn't mind the sound of my voice too much. And I will I'll see you next time. Okay. All right. That's it. All right. Bye-bye.